Good morning, everyone. We're continuing the laws of KASHRUS of Rabbi Yamin Force, and we are going to chapter Asiri, the 10th chapter of the Sefer, Hilchos Tailoim V'dam Beitzim. These are the halachas of bugs that you're obligated to check in your foods, and also Dam Beitzim, the blood that you might find in eggs. Din Tailoim Beperus V'yirakos. The law of bugs that are found in fruits and vegetables. Kosher Torah, it says in the Torah Kedosha, do not defile or disgust yourself with any of these creepy crawling things, and do not become tamei, impurified by them. You will be defiled. Yesh Shloisha suge shratzim. There are 3 different types of insects. That's really what we're describing over here. Sheretz ha'oif, there are insects of the sky that fly. Sheretz ha'mayim, there are insects that you will find in water. Sheretz ha'aretz, and there are insects that you will find on the land. V'kulam asurim min haTorah, and all of them are an isur deraisa. That means that the Torah prohibits you from eating any of these bugs, of these insects that we are describing. Now the Torah goes to great lengths to give many verses of prohibition when it comes to describing the Isser, the prohibition of eating these bugs and these insects. If somebody eats a bug out of the water bugs, he gets 4 sets of lashes. If you eat a bug from the ground, so then you get 5 sets of lashes. And if you eat a bug that flies, that's 6 times that you're going to get lashes. So a person could end up eating one little fly, and from one little fly that he ends up eating, he did 6 averas at once because of the number of verses that refer to it. So this is a question. The Torah doesn't usually extend itself so much with one isser, one prohibition after another, so many verses to tell you that you can't do this. Why do we find an abundance of verses by the eating of bugs and insects? The reason is because bugs are they're very common to be found in fruits and vegetables. You need to be very careful. You need to be really on guard to make sure that you don't stumble into eating a bug by mistake. Chas v'shalom, God forbid, b'achilasam, when you eat them. It's very likely that a person will eat a bug if they're not being careful. And this is one of the grave errors that people make when they think that it's okay to go eat salads in a non-kosher restaurant. Because they say, I can eat in a non-kosher restaurant, I'm a vegan, I'm eating vegetarian. What's the big deal? It's just a salad, it's just vegetables, it's fruits. The answer is, it's a very big deal. Because if you don't know how to check the fruits and the vegetables properly, so it's almost a guarantee that there will be bugs that are in the lettuce. There'll be bugs that are in certain vegetables that are being used. And if one of those bugs that you eat is what we're describing over here as the insects of the land or the sky or the water, so the amount of prohibitions that a person is going to transgress is enormous, and that's something that a person, of course, wants to avoid with all of their, with all of their might. They want to avoid this. It's worse to eat a bug than to eat a piece of chazer, to eat a piece of pork. Because pork is one isser in the Torah. There's only one prohibition. Bugs is either 4, 5, or 6 lavin, or 6 prohibitions that a person has. So too, when you eat one of these shratzim, you eat one of these bugs that are tamei, that are impure, they will be metama, they will disperse their impurity inside of you. The one who's eating them, is just like any other prohibited food that we're not allowed to eat. As we discussed in the beginning of this sefer, the concern is that it has an impact on the heart, and leaves blemishes and marks on the soul, so to speak, of impurity, and brings this tumah into our lives. The same thing over here. You eat a bug, it goes into you. It is not only 5 prohibitions that you transgress, but it's also dulling your heart and your senses and making you impure. Rahman al-Islam. This is just the beginning, but this is an introduction that is needed so that we can understand why we live in a generation that more or less has spent enormous amounts of time teaching about and making classes and showing how to check fruits and vegetables for bugs, because it's a problem that is there in all vegetables and bugs, almost as we many fruits and vegetables, as we shall see. And if you don't know how to clean them, and you don't know how to check them and clean them from the insects, a person is leaving themselves into a very bad spot in how many prohibitions they might transgress in one little garden salad that they eat. Have a wonderful day.